And I thought this would be a pretty amazing place for the topics of this particular video. Hollywood is the place where I really came up as a pickup artist, in that we had the whole Project Hollywood thing, and this was the first time I really got to meet the guys from RSD. And what I want to talk to you about in terms of that is just sort of the beauty in terms of your learning and in terms of your self-development that comes from having people around you, having like a great crew around you, but also the idea of feeling like you're part of something special. Feeling like there's something bigger than yourself, feeling like you're growing with people as opposed to alone. So when I first came out to Project Hollywood, I actually got to stay there based on a fluke. I was sort of like bottom of the totem pole, guy who's interned, hazed in the backyard, out in a tent. But it was, for me, like the best opportunity of my life. I was so excited. It was such a great learning opportunity. I could only see upside. So I drove out here. It was actually a 26-hour drive to end up in Los Angeles. Got here early in the morning, and then the first thing when I got here, Papa was like, hey, let's go to the gym. I was like, all right, fine, I'll go to the gym. Went to the gym, worked out way too hard, came back, immediately got sick. Stayed in bed shivering under like a blanket all day. Then that evening, Tyler was like, okay, time to go, we're going out. I'm like, all right, I guess we'll go out now. But I went out, hit it hard. I gave no excuses because it's my first day with the crew. I wanted to make sure it was good. I wanted to make sure I was fucking amazing. And so I hit it as hard as I possibly could, went out, took no excuses, ended up pulling home the hottest girl in the club that night, and ended up, I didn't sleep with her that night, but I ended up sleeping with her on a day two, a couple days later. And at that time, that was the hottest girl I'd ever slept with, so that was pretty awesome. And a big part of why that happened was being out with the crew, right? I wouldn't even been out that night. I would have just laid in bed being sick had I not had that motivation, those people pushing me to go out. I wouldn't have left. I wouldn't have gone out. Also, once I got there, I would have been much more quick to take an excuse. I would have been like, it turns out she was in a set with some guys. Typically, up until then, I hadn't done a lot of sets with guys. So I would have probably like bitched out and not even tried. But it turns out because I had this crew with me, because I had these people pushing me, I really, really pushed and made it happen, all right? The other thing that happened as part of Project Hollywood and part of like being in a group, a crew going out regularly over the summer, was this continued to happen. I had to keep going out, keep getting pushed, keep getting dragged out, pushed out. I'd get dragged out on dates with random people. They'd be like, oh, hey, I have an extra girl, can you take her? Or I'd be having a quiet night inside and someone would pop by and be like, let's go out. And it would just be lame not to go out because that's what we were there for. That's what it was all about. And so because I had that constant push, I ended up going out 5-6 days a week. I ended up making massive strides in my game over the course of that summer. The other thing I want to point out to you guys over that summer is that I took it as a learning experience. That's how I came into it, and that's how I treated it throughout the duration of the summer. So for the entire summer, I wasn't thinking necessarily, what's the best thing I can do right now to get good? I was thinking, how can I learn? So whenever I'd see a new style of game, whenever I'd see someone else who was new and good and doing their own thing, rather than saying, oh no, that's no good, or oh, picking holes in, or that sort of thing, or even saying I'm better than them, because a lot of times I would say, what can I see in what they're doing that's good? What can I take from it and implement in my own game? What can I do to make my own game better? And a lot of times I even wouldn't be running what I thought was the best game, but I'd be doing what I thought would teach me the most, what I thought would get me the furthest. And I actually blew a lot of sets that summer. I actually didn't even have, especially for like the first month I was there, overall I had way worse results than I had coming in because I was trying so many new things, I was implementing so many things. But the concepts that I learned that summer have carried me through for basically almost the rest of my pickup career. I mean, there have obviously been massive modifications, massive alterations since then, but that field experience and that period of getting good is a foundation I will always have for the rest of my life, and I'll always be able to bring that to any other style of game or any other sort of like situations that I'm in. So it was absolutely huge for me to have that happen. So basically, I guess what I want to say to you guys as we launch Inner Circle, or I have launched Inner Circle a few weeks ago, and we're really like building towards the website coming out on October 1st and the event starting in October. I want to tell you guys, I want to basically highlight to you guys the importance of having that crew that's gonna get you off your ass, that's gonna be there for you, that's gonna support you. The other thing that we did was at the end of the night at Project Hollywood, thankfully, it was cool. I was with Tyler, Papa, and the whole crew back then, but we debriefed the night. Not intentionally, we didn't necessarily like set time aside and be like, this is our debrief time. But we did end up naturally debriefing that because it was what was on our mind. We'd talk it out, we'd talk it through, and we'd get the theoretical part of the game as well. So we got the experience and the theory, and it was really just an incredible incubator for learning game. And so that's what we're gonna try and bring you guys through Inner Circle. And whether you're in Inner Circle or not, that's what I encourage you guys to do. Find a crew of like-minded individuals, try and go out a lot, have fun with it, and push each other. Don't let your friends bitch out, and don't let them let you bitch out. Get on their ass, yell at them if they do, all right? I think Julian, his phrase is, could you do it if you had a gun to your head, right? And the answer is always yes, you always could. So just treat it as such. Treat it like doing the right thing is the gun to your head, and you will never, never, never let yourself down on that, to the point of almost like it's a life or death matter, okay? So that's my encouragement to you. Push yourself, go hard, and find a group of people that will push you, because there's only so much motivation you're gonna muster in and of yourself. You're gonna need that crew to help you out. Or at least it's gonna be massively helpful. I suppose you could get good without a crew. I got pretty good without a crew, but everybody I know who's gotten truly great has had a crew around them at least at some point. So take advantage of that opportunity that we're gonna give you by being a part of the RSD community, by forming that crew. Get out there and do it. Hit it up, go hard. Talk to you next time.